Welcome back to My Steel Can. I'm your man, Dan. So, in the last episode, I finished moving the 2 of the 4 cans up to the property. I had to go back to the plantation to do my 30, so I only had a short window. Plus, it took me 7 hours to get the first can up, a learning experience. It took me 5 hours to get the second can up, learning experience. But now I'm at the 50-hour service interval for the beast. So I purchased a handful of grease and I'm gonna lube her up. Also, in that window of opportunity last weekend when I brought the 2 cans up, that hydraulic leak on the accumulator was scratching me, and I decided, well, I have enough time to drive into town, purchase a new union and a new hose, drive back up here, install it, and then spend the night and make it back to the plantation for an on-time punch-in. The plan worked out fine to an extent. The union cost $16 and change, and the hose, because it wasn't a reusable fitting, they had to make a whole new hose. So the whole new hose cost me $205, which is extensively too much for a 2-foot rubber hose, in my opinion. But when they got you and you need it, you gotta pay. I replaced the alternator and the voltage regulator, but I was still a little disappointed because now I was only getting 12.5 volts at idle, and I'm thinking, that ain't no good. I had a problem with O'Reilly's and their alternators when I was in Everett, and I had the Celica, and as soon as you turn the air conditioning on in the Celica or the fan or whatever, the gauge would drop and the light would come on. So it took me like 4 or 5 alternators and voltage regulators before I got the right combination that actually worked, and I was really dreading that this was going to happen now because I don't have the time to be dealing with that. In Everett, I had the time. I was riding my bicycle to work every day, so it didn't really matter. But this time I don't have the time. This thing's got to be 100% all the time. So, and I'm pretty much on top of it. As some of the guys I work with tell me I'm insane for the amount of maintenance that I do, preventative wise. But I don't want to get stuck on the side of the road because that costs change. Not only change, but time. And I don't have time. I have very little time, limited. Well, I should say my time is limited on this planet at this time. And I don't want to spend it sitting on the side of the road for 2 hours waiting for a tow truck to show up. So, basically, I'm pretty on top of it. So I finished the rest of the sentence at the plantation, and I had to drive down to my folks, take care of some issues they had down there. Apparently they had some internet problems with their modem and whatnot, and they had the cable guy come over and try to straighten that out. He straightened that out, but then they developed a electrical problem out to the kitchen under the patio, which also powers the drip system for the plants. And you need a drip system when you're in Arizona because it is desert dry. So I had to go down there and help that and straighten that out. Plus I need a little recreation Dad and I went and shot some sporting clays and some trap. So that was a little relaxation from the grind, let's say. So what happened was, I believe that the cable guy used the outlet by the box. I don't know why the cable guy would need to use the outlet by the electrical boxes. I mean, the cable box is next to it, yeah, but I don't know why you would need to use the outlet. Either way, the GFI popped, and that caused everything to shut down. Easy peasy fix, right? Boom, hit the reset button. Everything's powered back up. Problem solved. Then I had to reprogram the drip system, and unbeknownst to me, I've been arguing with them for 2 months that the trees are not getting enough water because the fig tree, the leaves are turning brown, right? But they don't want to hear it. They've been watering this way for I don't know how many years, and well, this summer happens to be extremely hot. You need to add a little more water. Anyway, so apparently they didn't want to take my advice, but when the gardener showed up, the gardener told them, hey, there's something wrong here. You need to increase the water. Right? So they changed the program. So now when I go to program it, now my mother's like, oh yeah, by the way, you need to reprogram it this way. The other way was no good. And here I am, been arguing with them for 2 months to change the program, right? So either way, my word is no good, I guess. Well, my observations are no good. So I programmed it, and the trees are getting water now 3 times a week instead of twice for an hour each, and they should be reviving shortly, right? Plus the weather's starting to cool down now anyway. So I'm up here, and I'm kind of tired. Long drive. And I'm going to just hang out and take a little siesta. Plus, I don't know what's the temperature out here. What's the temperature? Well, I can't reach the thermometer. But it's got to be in the 90s at least. And so I'm going to take a little siesta for an hour or two. And then I'm going to suit up and grease the beast. And then I'm going to... I think I'm going to change the oil in the bed no breakfast. I got another 500 miles on it, but I figure while I'm here, I got everything to do the job. I might as well do the job while I'm dirty, right? So, thanks for tuning in, or clicking in. I don't know which way we could tune in, click in, and I'll see you guys in a few. Later. Okay, so apparently I had some technical difficulties with the camera. Apparently it likes to change settings all by itself, and then I don't realize it because I'm really not paying attention either. Either way, I got the settings back to where I want. Hopefully they'll match the rest of the videos that I've been taking. So I opted to do the oil filter and oil on the bed no breakfast. The wind kind of calmed down about 15 minutes ago, and I moved the bed no breakfast onto a level spot, got out of the truck, started unloading the trunk, and now the wind's picked back up. Can't win. So anyway, let's do the oil. think I'm going to call that good. So there we have it. Easy peasy oil change. Now let's start it up, make sure that filter don't leak. The beast is lubed. Little greasage sticking out. 6 tubes to grease all the pivot points on the beast. Now I'm ready for tomorrow to bring the 3rd can up. So I didn't suit up in the lingerie. It was still a little too hot. I didn't feel like sweating, and I didn't videotape it because I figured you didn't want to watch me do it unless I was in my lingerie. So sun's getting close to setting. It's cooling down nice. I think it's supposed to be in the mid-70s tonight. Can't wait to actually get a good night's sleep. I might even have to zip up the sleeping bag. Alright, well, I look forward to sharing the footage with you tomorrow. Thanks for tagging along, and I'll see you in a few hours. Later.